something fun to do. Hi everybody, welcome to Royal Pushback Aftermath. I am just putting my guitar down, moving the microphone. I'm not going to talk into it. Then we're getting straight in to the agenda. Now, are you ready? I have a brand new outfit on today. Well, it's not brand new, it's old. What you think? Leather is back in style, and I heart all of you. My guitar playing was horrendous because remember I put on fake nails, and I know the scratch. Remember I put on fake nails, and they were a French manicure, and I thought it looked quite nice, but then I realized I can't play the guitar. So that's why it sounded yucky, because this big long nail, how Dolly Parton plays Jolene, 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 something, 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 and I was 17. Okay, hence, I have to go to a nail salon and get those taken off. First things first. I put up a short video because I'm not saying this ever again. I wrote it all there. So if you want to read what my thoughts were when I was preparing for this live, please read the comments so I don't have to continually repeat myself. So let's go this way a little bit. You know I love you. You know I mean it's true. Yeah? Okay. Now, I wanted to thank. There's two people that keep subscribing and unsubscribing. I don't know who they are. But I'm sorry that my channel disappointed you. I am. Now, but what I wanted to say was the three channels I've got: Lasha Rajenko, which I started March the 23rd of 2023. And I realized I could do lives on them, but I didn't know how to use the computer because it took me 3 months to figure out how to do it. Then, when I figured out how to do it, I started L&L Soul Sisters. So there's 55 people on this channel. There's 266 on L&L Soul Sisters, all on its lonesome. And there's 190 some odd people on this channel. That's about 514 human beings that took time out of their lives for the content, and I am going to deliver. I'm sick of myself not following through. Is it okay to be honest? You don't start a YouTube channel when you're winging it. And I winged it, but I enjoyed every moment, each video. There's meaning to it for me, but it's relating to other people that I think might have been the issue. However, this is the agenda. First of all, I have to thank all the subscribers. I read everybody on my mirror. I did. I read everybody on my mirror, because you have to have a manual backup of what you do online, or you will not remember anybody. Now, I also wanted to thank, that's why I put up these, and I know it's backwards, but some new people subscribed, and I keep track of everybody who commented, everybody, because it means so much. So I put this up. Good late afternoon, February 1st of the year 2024. Welcome, RAPS, Royal Pushback Aftermath. And then you can see that I even have February 1st of the year 2024. Welcome, Royal Pushback Aftermath. And what are we doing today? Annalese Micheal, Chapter 4, Properly. And then, are you ready for some royal pushback? The Palace Papers by Tina Brown. I'm doing it. Today, or February 1st, is leap year. I remember all y'all, everybody, and also I want to thank Venus and Vicky and Mary Molt for joining. I noticed that if I go to comments, or not comments, if I go to comments every day, but I don't like to do that every day because it is time consuming, but I love every minute of it. I really do. But could you imagine, for me, 514 people that took the time to comment and subscribe? It's free. It's free. And if you watch something, give it a like and a comment. And if you don't want to, don't do it. In fact, I insist you don't comment unless you dislike it or like it. And if you're ambivalent about it, then no comment is a comment. But yes, Vicky joined today, Venus joined today, and Mold joined today. And I also saw comments from RYZIM, Tiana P, and Toxic Treasure. Thank you so much. So, if you ever think that I will ever stop this, I will not. And also, I am never, ever, ever charging for tarot card reads. Even if you're not a subscriber to this channel, and I'll never have join for $2.99. I'll never have badges. You know, there was this one channel that I thought was $27 full on to join. No. It's every month. See, that's what happens when you get to 823,000 subscribers. When is it enough? I'm doing this, and I started this because of change.org. And because of all of you, wait. Celine Dion. Okay. I figured it out. I can't sing standing up. Now, I can't put Celine Dion on karaoke or her song because, it's impossible to sing. So I'm just going to sing it my way. Okay. I figured it out. I was high and low and everything in between. I could be wicked and wild, and babe, you know what I mean. Till there was you, oh, you. It's all because of you. You are the reason. You are the reason I get up every day, sleep through the night. You are the reason. If you didn't join Royal Pushback Aftermath, I'd be sweating all night about change.org. You kept your oath to me, baby. Okay, I tried. I do have an outro, and I wrote a new song about the rap family. The rap family and the rap family, from royal pushback, aftermath. What do you want to say? It can't be daft if you joined. I'll share some more tomorrow. I'm in the midst of writing it. Okay. All right. "13 minutes of my thank you. I love to sing. I shared the date, everything like that. Everything like that. Lasha, you're much more organized than this, and you know it. You know what? I know the agenda. This is the agenda today, and I'm not talking about anything else. In fact, I don't really want to be seen while I'm reading, because that's when I start looking in the camera and start making jokes, and I just want to read this book. Now, I did read The Exorcism of Annalese Micheal this morning, but it was a hack job. So here's the real job. We're on chapter 4. Okay? Oh my gosh, I really did make a lot of notes. Hang on. Sorry, get my pen. My marker. My mother said to me last night, "You're very creative. When you were at Nana and Papa's, when you were in grade 2, the creativity came out of you." And I said, "Yeah." And it kind of got arrested right there. Okay. All right, straight into it. No jokes. No jokes and no judging here. Chapter 4, the dam breaks. All right. Chapter 4, the dam breaks, the exorcism of Annalese Micheal, starting right now, no interruptions. And I'm leaving my recap at the end. It was just supposed to be my song, no talk, the book, the recap, and the outro. I told you this morning was a hack job. Chapter 4, the dam breaks. Wurzburg, Germany's most beautiful Baroque city, and for centuries the capital of an celestial principle, was largely destroyed during the Second World War. By the time Annalise became a student there, however, it had been completely rebuilt. It is the center of what is popularly called Mary's Little Land, and statues of the Virgin in various disguises adorn the corners of many old houses with a knighten halo, a crown, a wreath of stars, and, with or without, the Christ child. Mary also greets the supplicant from the altars of its many churches. Annalise came to know several of these churches quite intimately in her search for a place to pray. For in the round and impersonal chapel of the Ferdinandum, oh Lord, some of this language we don't use anymore. I mean, markled is a word now. Annalese came to know several of these churches quite intimately in her search for a place to pray for in the round and impersonal chapel of the Ferdinandium. There was not even a bench where she could kneel. Besides, it was open only for Mass. At other times, she had to go looking for someone who had a key and would have to go through the basement. So she started going across the parking lot to the Unseer Libby Frau Church, or she took the bus downtown to the Neminster Church, Neum with the U with the two dots, Nster Church, and its shelter, warm, Adoration Chapel that Father Alt had called to her attention. This church also made her homesick in other ways, and that's the Ferdinand Church. It was aseptic and neutral, with crowds of students bustling along its gray hallways. How she missed her sisters, she had to admit. Through that things have been worse. After all, there were a few girls she did know from the gymnasium in Aschenbabenberg. There was, remember, Ursula, UK, and Ursula was her friend, and Karen. Her roommate, Ursula was her roommate in the suite on the first floor of the high-rise. Karen Gora took nearly all the same classes, and they saw each other most every day. And even Maria Burdick made a showing. She did not live in the high rise, but in a neighborhood building with some other girls. Annalese, she often met at lectures during their free time. But matters other than homelessness, but matters other than homesickness also weighed heavily upon Annalese. She was very homesick. Despite the fact that she took her pills faithfully and that Father Alt saw her nearly every second week, those gruesome faces attacked her wherever she went, and her depression isolated and unnerved her. Going to lectures proved a nearly unbearable burden. In the morning, I wake up listlessly and really don't feel like getting up. By evening, I'm completely leached out. I can feel her exhaustion in Dr. Goodman's writing. There's no pouting. Dr. Goodman gets straight to the point. Okay, by evening, I'm completely leached out, she told Dr. Dietrich Lenner for the Institute of Psychotherapy and Medical Psychology at the end of November. Exasperated, she blurted out, I so want to really live again. It did not take Ursula long to size up her roommate. Quote, during the first few weeks at school, Annalese was completely withdrawn and very down. She drifted and went to lectures only if we dragged her along. Could you imagine having to drag your roommate to classes because he or she was so depressed? And what I do need to summarize, this paragraph is almost finished. Okay. She told the court investigator. Okay, so let me repeat that line one more time. It's in quotes. During the first few weeks at school, Annalese was completely withdrawn and very down, she told the court investigator. But things are about to change, for Annalese fell in love early in November. There had been a dance at the Ferdinand, and she danced with was a fellow student by the name of Peter. Slightly built like herself with wavy dark hair and interesting eyes. Interesting eyes. And she does have interesting eyes. She does. She's a beautiful girl. But things were about to change for Annalese. For Annalese fell in love. Her friends got Annalese to go along. One of the young men she danced with, a fellow, I already said that, by the name of Peter, like her. Okay. He and Annalese had many of the same courses, and he made sure that they saw each other frequently. Peter's company was very good for Annalese. It completely revived her. Her roommates Ursula noted, quote, Annalese dancing and even bowling with him, things she was not interested in before. And Karen added, quote, she became visible, lively, acting like just another girl who was in love. Even Maria Burdick, who did not see her as often as the other two, noticed how she was blossoming. Okay, anorexia. Okay, I just am equating blossoming with anorexia, so when I do my recap, I'll remember. About 2 weeks later, however, to Peter's consternation, she told him that they should stop seeing each other. But why? Peter wanted to know. I often get terribly depressed and am not good company for anybody. Quote, everybody gets depressed sometimes, Annalese, he argued. But with me, it's different. It lasts. They were walking to a lecture on child psychology together. She turned and looked at him directly. Believe me, you'll save yourself a lot of trouble. Believe me, you'll save yourself a lot of grief if you do not come to see me anymore, Peter. That is so sad. Still, Peter stuck around. He loved her. I cannot feel what you feel for me. You will once. Once you get to know me better, Annalese, you don't understand. I can't, or Annalese said, I can't feel love at all. I'm numb. I can't feel emotions like that. Peter, you're not listening to me. I think she probably would have, no, she would have probably, no. She was an empath, but she was terrified. And when you're terrified, sometimes you don't want to be touched. I am all numb, sort of. I can't feel emotions like that. Peter would not listen. It did not even scare him away when she told him that with the onset of her depressions, she sometimes became stiff all over. Quote, some good doctor probably has a pill for that. You just have to find the right one, Annalese, he would say, and would continue coming to see her. And it's almost like it's driving her crazy. That's the mood I'm getting from it. Unless you have a different interpretation, drop it in the comments. She was pretty, she was pretty in a delicate way, with a nice figure too, very intelligent, not at all a little goose, like so many girls at the PH. When she talked about fellow students, all of a sudden you saw aspects of their character that you had not even suspected before, and she was usually right. And although she said that since the gymnasium, she had not really done any concentrated studying, she obviously picked up a great deal in lectures and seminars anywhere. Even, oh gosh, I have to spell this one. The director of Ferdinand. Let's just put it this way. Can you pronounce this word? With the red underlining right there? O-B-E-R, Oberstudiendirektor Veth, the director of Ferdinand, was impressed with her. You could tell from the way he always paid attention to her comments in class, and he liked her relationship to her family. It must have been fun. As she described it, growing up with 3 girls and that blustering but kind father. Maybe her mother was a bit overambitious for her, but many mothers were that way. No wonder she went home every weekend. True, she seemed a bit too serious about religion. As for him, he had seen the church mostly from the outside for some years, but maybe she was right. Perhaps there was more to it than he was willing to admit. So what they didn't see eye to eye on were those depressions of hers. Quote, if it's not your parents, then maybe you had a friend who kept telling you that you were worthless or something. Don't be silly. Then maybe you are suffering from alter effects of the author exams, or you're worried about college now. She would just shake her head. It was like trying to batter his way through a wall. Well, let's keep talking, he would say. Quote, it was good to have someone to talk to when you are depressed. On November 27th, Annalese let him take her to her first interview with Dr. Leonard. He waited outside so he could take her clearly and incisively. As she was certainly and incisively as she was wont to do. Actually, that's common verbiage from back there. She described how she had trouble concentrating or listening. I have no willpower. I simply float around and don't know what I want. That sounds like BPD. I'm talking about, this is written in 1979 or 1980 in the 70s. And so, she talked about how she felt nothing at all, but Peter even volunteered to help her. But what in the world could he do for her, she thought. She's in love, but she didn't understand. Sounds like she didn't understand love. Now that's page 52. So tomorrow we're going to pick up on page 53. I'm just going to take a 15-minute break, and then I'm starting right in on the Palace Papers. And I tried to read that book when I lived over at Concord, but since I've moved here, I gave a lot of books away to the library because moving is also by weight. And I used to have like a shelf of books, but I've never been an avid reader. But watching Cheer Denise has changed my perspective on literature in so many ways. I'm not summarizing this yet. I want to hear what you have to say, and I do have an opinion because a lot of what she's saying is reminding me of different movies, different thoughts come to my head, but I don't want to have selective concentration. So, one step at a time. I will review my thoughts tomorrow, and I will continue reading chapter 5. And again, this was chapter 4, The Dam Breaks. I'm taking a little bit of a break, as I shared, and I am reading the Palace Papers because this book is going to be done in 2 weeks. It should have been done 5 months ago. And that's what you learn on YouTube. Thank you for watching. Thank you for those who joined. And my outro is, thank you for watching. Please do come back. I don't know. Come back and get your free tarot cards. Tarot card reads. Who can I choose today to read a free tarot card read on my break? Let's see. Vicky from the comments. All right, Vicky, your card reading will be up at 11 o'clock tonight because they take like an hour to upload. I'm going to read the first chapter of Kryptonite, so I'm well versed in it. And that's what I need to do before I start reading each chapter, is just read it first and then continue with the continuum, whatever that means. And what side are you falling on with this book? Was she possessed? Wasn't she? Based on the movie, what do you think? All right. Take care of yourselves, all of you, all of you, all of you. I'll do the same for me. I'll do the same for me. And that's about it. Sure, it was sweet and you swept me off my feet. I do it now and then, why would I do it all again? Yeah. Bye. Oh, I just want to end the stream like